Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Hoy vamos a hablar de la Copa Mundial. Vamos a hablar de uno de los temas, mis temas favoritos, el fútbol, la Copa Mundial. Today we're going to read and we're going to learn about the World Cup, the soccer tournament that makes me go crazy every 4 years. Yes, that is my favorite sport. I'm a coach, I play college ball, and you know I am passionate about football, soccer. Yeah, it is called football in other parts of the world. It's only called soccer here in the United States. But we're going to learn about Copa Mundial, and Copa Mundial means World Cup. As you can see right here, Copa means cup, Mundial, World Cup. We're going to learn about that, and then after we learn some information about that, how it works, we're also going to answer some questions in page 107. This is information that you can get in page 106 and page 107. Okay, so before I explain more to you about the World Cup, let me show you a little video that probably could help you out understanding about what is the big fuss and what is the craziness going around this event. Okay, let's watch.
The World Cup. What's the fuss all about? While games which involve kicking a ball existed in different cultures for thousands of years, it was only in the mid-19th century that a unified set of rules was created. This led to the official separation between football and rugby. The global reach of the British Empire back then led to the universal recognition of these rules. Football became an official international competition in London's 1908 Olympics. The fact that only amateurs were allowed to participate encouraged the International Football Association, FIFA, to form an independent tournament which included the best players in the world. The first tournament took place in Uruguay in 1930. Only 4 European teams ventured the long and expensive trip across the Atlantic, and a total of 13 teams took part in the tournament. Yep, the Americans were there too. The home court advantage came in handy to Uruguay, who beat Argentina in the finals and became the World Cup's first champion. Since then, the tournament has taken place in different locations every 4 years, except for when there was a world war. The World Cup's cross-national popularity turned it from the get-go into far more than an ordinary sports event, and matches between adversary countries always drew special attention. In one case, a match ignited a war which resulted in 2,000 casualties. The number of teams participating in the World Cup increased over the years from 13 to 32. The teams are divided into 8 groups, with the winners advancing to the knockout stage, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. Brazil has been dominating the World Cup, having qualified for all tournaments and winning 5 times. Brazilian stars also hold important world records. The World Cup final is considered the most popular sports event in the world, and the 2010 finals were viewed by approximately 700 million people across the globe. So if you happen to come across a growling, unshaved, zombie-like group of men screaming on your sofa, don't panic. It'll all be over in a month.
All right. So, as we learned in the video, there's no other event, the sports event in the world that can captivate the attention of the world all at once like the World Cup. The FIFA World Cup now is an international, obviously. So some of you guys say, okay, well, what about the Super Bowl? If you look at the ratings of the Super Bowl compared with the ratings of the World Cup, there is no comparison. The American football is huge, it's popular here in the United States, but it doesn't even reach the level of the soccer World Cup. So now, when we're comparing sports, obviously we also have to compare cultures. You know, the amount of exposure that these sports have, and the availability, that the resources that they had as well. So in different places around the world, all you need in football, soccer, all you need is a soccer ball. And sometimes you don't even need a soccer ball. You can make a goal or a ball out of anything. socks. You can make a goal out of paper. Anything. And that is one of the reasons why it's so popular to play around the world. So it says right here, desde la primera, we're going to read this and then we're going to go and answer some of these questions. But before, I would like to teach you a little bit of a little technique. It's called SQ3R. SQ3R is, you survey. By survey, you look at the title, it starts S, and you look at the pictures, okay? What you see, this is like a chart, right? You look at the pictures to give you an idea what is this about. Obviously, it's going to be about Copa Mundial, World Cup, okay? You look at how many paragraphs is that you're going to have to read. Then, you look at vocabulary, really important vocabulary that you might need, like capture, there is, has been, world, only is number 7. Anything of these notations that you can find right into the reading. Then you continue looking at the pictures because it gives you a better understanding of what's going on. And here it's a ganadores de la Copa Mundial. It is a chart of the champions of the World Cup. And this is all the way to 2006. Unfortunately, this has not been updated because there's been others after 2006 that have won the World Cup. Remember, we are 2020. So at the end, right now what we're going to do, we already survey. We already look at these pictures and some of the paragraphs, some of the words. What we're going to do is we're going to read what is it that there, what is our objective. Our objective today is to answer these questions right here. 6 questions, 5 points per questions equal 30 points. And what we're going to do is figure out where to find this information. Obviously, it's going to be in the reading. Okay? What is it asking us? ¿En qué año empezó la Copa Mundial? ¿En qué? ¿En what? Año. Año means year. In what year empezó? Empezó. Empezar is to begin. But notice that it's conjugated in the past tense because it's under it, él, ella, usted. One thing is empezó. When did it begin? What is it? What did it begin? Copa Mundial. What's Copa Mundial again? You got it. World Cup. When did it start? ¿Cómo se llama? Número 2. ¿Cómo se llama el primer trofeo? Trofeo, what do you think it means? You're right. This is a word that is similar in English and Spanish. So these are cognates, right? Because you can recognize them. Trofeo means trophy. Yes. ¿Cómo se llama el primer trofeo? What is the name of primero means first. Okay? Prime, right? The first one. The primero. Primer trofeo. What is the name of the first trophy ever played? ¿Por qué tiene ese nombre? And why does it have that? Ese. Look at the demonstrative adjective. Ese means that. That name. Why does it have that name? Número 3. ¿Con qué frecuencia ocurre la Copa Mundial? With what? What's frecuencia? Correct. Another cognate, right? Frequency. How often? If you want to translate it, how often or what frequency does the World Cup occurs? When did it happen? How often does this happen, this event? So, remember I told you at the beginning of the year that I go absolutely bananas every years? Yes, that's correct. ¿Quién ganó la Copa Mundial más que todos los otros países? Número 4. ¿Quién means who? Ganó comes from the verb ganar, to win. Who won la Copa Mundial más? More. Who won the World Cup mostly more que than todos los otros países, than any other country. País means country. Países is countries or other countries. All right, well, that's something that we're going to have to find out here in the reading. Next one. ¿Por qué no jugaron una Copa Mundial entre 1938 y 1950? Why didn't they play a World Cup between 1938 and 1950? Remember, the video show you Why there was no one during that time period? If you don't remember, think about it. What was going on in the world during 1938 and 1950? What could have been happening back then? You got it. ¿Por qué tiene mucha popularidad la Copa Mundial por todo el mundo? Now, this question is obviously something that you have to find out, something I told you my own opinion, but something that you might want to research. Why it's so much popular? Why it is so popular? And the World Cup, why is it so popular around the world? Why is it? Okay, now I'm looking forward to hear your answers, and we'll have a class discussion based on this today, where you're gonna make a lot of points. Okay, so those are the questions that are due today. Make sure that you guys complete it. Okay, let's read it. Desde su primera edición, celebrada en Uruguay en 1930, la Copa Mundial de la FIFA ha crecido en popularidad. En esta competencia, los mejores equipos de fútbol de todos los países compiten por el título de campeón del mundo. La idea se originó gracias a un grupo de visionarios franceses en 1920. Su líder fue el innovador Jules Rimet. Después de 10 años de la idea, se hizo realidad y el primer campeonato fue en 1930. Desde ese año ha habido 16 torneos en los cuales ganaron solo 7 campeones distintos. La única interrupción en el trofeo fue por la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Hoy en día, la Copa Mundial capta la atención de todos los aficionados a fútbol del planeta. Hay una audiencia global de más de 3.700 millones de personas y la meta de los jugadores y los aficionados sigue siendo lo mismo: ganar el trofeo, la copa. El trofeo original del torneo se llama la Copa Jules Rimet. Brasil adquirió este trofeo después de ganar su tercera Copa Mundial en 1970. El nuevo trofeo está en uso desde 1974 y el país que lo ganó la conserva por 4 años hasta la siguiente competencia. So, I think you're going to have to go back and read some of this, but consider all the vocabulary right here, okay? Notice that number 1, number 2, there's some captions right here. You can find those captions. For example, la única, number 7. La única is right here and means unique, only, okay? So, look at this, read it back again in page 106. And try to figure it out what it's saying, okay? It will give you all the information you need. Also, look up at this this chart that includes all the winners from the beginning 1930, which was the first one, all the way to the 2006. You're probably going to have to research who won the World Cup after 2006, okay? It's kind of easy to find out. So you know the actual champion right now. The last cup was played in Russia in 1918, and the World Cup winners, the champions right now, it's France. Alrighty, so again, go back, look at these questions. ¿En qué año empezó la Copa Mundial? What year does the cup started? ¿Cómo se llama el primer trofeo? What is the name of the first trophy? ¿Por qué tiene ese nombre? Why does it have that name? ¿Con qué frecuencia ocurre la Copa Mundial? What frequency or how often is the World Cup? And ¿quién ganó la Copa Mundial más que todos los otros países? And who's won more World Cups than any other country in the world? ¿Por qué no jugaron una Copa Mundial entre 1938 y 1950? Why didn't they play a World Cup during the years 1938 and 1950s? And the last question is, ¿por qué tiene mucha popularidad la Copa Mundial por todo el mundo? Why is the World Cup, why is it so popular? The World Cup so popular around the world? Those are the questions, and I expect you guys to complete this in complete sentences. Use the question to begin your answer by restating, okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know and achieve your goal.